What is up, guys? Welcome back to the next layer for another awesome episode. Today, we're going to talk about base. We're going to talk about Titan X. We're going to talk about a new meme coin narrative. There is so much going on in this space. And if you're bearish, get out of the live stream because we are only bullish on this live stream. Bill, what's up, brother? How are we doing today?
Doing good, bro. Hey, listen, it's working now. It actually. So me and Chris were talking about how a lot of these live streams it doesn't stream on mine. And brother, let's go. It's now officially streaming on the Late Night on Base Twitter account. Let's go. So if you're watching this, you probably see it. You're following me. Hop on in, man. This is gonna be a good space. Every Wednesday we do this.
Yes, sir. And also, before we get into the alpha, me and Bill, all we do is talk about business on this live stream and alpha. Consider hitting the like button and share this space out so we can connect with more people because our goal is to bring education and lift people up, not drag them down. And that's our motto. So, Bill, you got to talk to me here. You're the base guy. You talk to a lot of these developers, the meme coins, all that good stuff. I wake up this morning. I go on my Twitter. I'm going to do a quick screen share, and I see this. We got a nice big, bright orange logo. It's the base logo. It's orange. And then we got Jesse tweeting this out. In your opinion, what does this mean? And does this indicate something big coming in the future?
Yeah, anytime you have multiple big personalities on base, especially tweet the same thing, something's coming. Obviously, I was cheekily asking if some of these accounts, hey, if it's a meme coin, give me the ticker. I'll appreciate it because I would ape immediately. But I think, after digging around, I think this is the Coinbase CWBTC, I think it's called. The Coinbase BTC. I guess they're creating their maybe I don't know too much about it, but I think it's trying to bring DeFi, obviously, for Bitcoin holders onto Base. So it's kind of like a wrap Bitcoin, but I guess maybe the Coinbase version, which would be good because that would increase more TVL, more volume on Base if they can do something with their Bitcoin. But that's what I think. What do you think?
I agree, man. So here's the big thing with Bitcoin. You got about $1 trillion asset locked into a blockchain. Now, Wrap Bitcoin has their own approach where they say, hey, give us your Bitcoin. Here's your Wrap BTC version. And we'll just make sure it follows the peg. Not many people like that. So right now, the question is across the industry, and this goes into layer 2s on Ethereum, and also Bitcoin layer 2s. How can we find a way to bring Bitcoin outside that blockchain while maintaining its value in a decentralized manner so that there's no middlemen like banks? Now, the question is with this new Coinbase BTC, it sounds really great in theory, but the question is it decentralized? And if Jesse and his team can figure this out and bring this to Coinbase, it's going to be huge. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be huge. And like I said, if you're in the Base ecosystem right now, and a lot of my followers are, we are so close. I'm telling you right now, we are so close to the moment where the floodgates open. And I don't think it's by I don't believe in coincidences, number one. And I think it's all time together that once the floodgates open, it just pours. And I think the introduction of the CWBTC or whatever it's called is just going to add fuel to that fire. So I'm ready. This is a little bit about not even alpha. This is just advice. If you're interested in the base ecosystem and your bags aren't packed yet, you need to do it. Like this is the moment to do it. Don't wait for when the candles are green and you see a 50% day. No, don't do that. Do it now. prepare yourself. Again, if you're not bullish on it, you probably shouldn't be following me, but maybe you will want to. I got mad respect for all my followers, but I think right now is the moment. In 2 months from now, whatever, you won't see these prices on some of the top assets. So all this is coming together, Chris. I'm excited. I'm excited for kind of the market right now. Everyone's all this bearish energy. Fuck that. I'm a bull, baby. Build a bull is not changing face in a dragon year, 8 universal year. Let's go.
Yeah, man, it's really good, and I love all the points you put out here. Now's the time to get in because there's so much bearish sentiment, and you gotta. And one a wise man named Goo God once said, "Inverse trade your feelings. If everybody's bullish, you might want to do the opposite. If everyone's bearish, you might want to do the opposite. Everybody's bearish. Now's the time to do the opposite, in my opinion." And I also want to give a quick special shout out to Mr. Miggles. I absolutely love this photo. Beautiful meme. So, Miggles is on it, and this is something me and Bill have been bullish for the past
So bullish.
months. So
So
bullish.
bullish.
So, yeah, man. So overall, I think it's looking good. I like what base is doing, and I'm excited to see how Jesse and the team performs. Now, we got to talk about Tynex ecosystem. So you ready to roll into that?
Dude, I love it. And if anyone's not familiar on my side about Tynex, you really should. And Chris is the man. So if you think I know a lot about base, Chris knows more about the Tynex ecosystem. So you're gonna be in for a treat because it's popping right now.
Yes, sir. So I want to talk about this new protocol. It's called Inferno, and we'll take a look at the price chart. But I just want to show you guys the website and just give you a quick breakdown of what they're trying to do. So you have something called Inferno the Bull. There's an 8-week mint period. Every week, the amount of tokens you can mint from Titan X to the Inferno token go down by 20%. And if you guys are familiar with Titan X, I'll keep it very simple. It's a DeFi protocol. And basically, what you do is you create something called miners with Ethereum. And with those miners, it produces a certain amount of TINX based off of how long that miner is claimed. And that Ethereum from that miner is used to pay out stakers that stake the TINX token. It's used to burn the TINX token. And then it's also used to reward builders on top of the TINX ecosystem. Now, there's a team that took an initiative and said, hey, we're going to launch a new approach to meme coins. We saw meme coins go absolutely crazy, and then they die. But this team decided, hey, why don't we create a new standard for meme coins? So they created this mint phase that I just mentioned to you guys with this 8-week mint period. And the goal is to mint out a bunch of these Inferno tokens using Titan X, and then in turn take that Titan X and burn the Inferno token going on to the future. So the idea is it's just like a massive flywheel or a massive snowball going down the hill so that you can burn more of this Inferno token. Now, here's something very interesting, Bill, that's coming up that I don't think many people are ready for. During this, right now we are on week 8 of the mint period. So we went through 7 weeks, and now we're on week 8, and we're about to mint out a bunch more Inferno token. After that, the supply is capped. Now, what's interesting is the buy and burn for this protocol, it started off very small, and now it's sitting at $1.2 million. $1.2 million. And so once this supply is capped at week 8, that $1.2 million is going to be used to burn the Inferno token in the next couple of months. Bill, any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, this whole mechanism of the buy and burn. So just from a noob's perspective, and I'll ask you, Chris, when it says buy and burn for those that don't understand, does that mean that that money will be actually used to market buy the Inferno token and burn it from supply, correct?
Yes, sir.
So that means for those listening, that's $1.2 million ready to deploy. That's what you call a benevolent whale. And it's all coded, right? And I think you said too, it's coded to do that. It's not like one guy manually has to do it. Like he can't just take the money, can he?
No, it's all coded, and basically I'm not gonna make it too complicated, but if you come over here, there's a burn period, and you can
Mm,
connect your wallet and then call the burn function. You
yeah, yeah,
actually get a
yeah.
reward. So yeah, so
Amazing. So to me, this is like a new kind of thing where, as an investor in a lot of these projects, we always want the dev to do something, right? Dev, do something, market buy, and it's always to like one person to be like, all right, I'm going to buy or not. These type of functions are built in with the code, and it changes the game in a way, right? And so for me, it's a unique feature that is going to happen. $1.2 million will be bought of this Inferno token, and it's going to be burned. Burning will reduce the circulating supply, and it just is down to the meme. So for me, I always look for the number one meme coin on any chain. That is my thing. Everyone knows on base, my two are Brett and Miggles. I think Miggles is great. I think Brett's the leader. Pulse chain, in my opinion, is Teddy Bear. I love Teddy Bear. When it comes to Titan X and its whole ecosystem, to me, Inferno is the number one meme coin. And again, you guys might disagree or whatever, but for me, from a layman's perspective, it's a bull. It's just a fun little thing, and you have $1.2 million ready to be bought and burned. Get any little spark, this thing flies. It flies. Simple as that. At 3 million market cap, to me, it's a leverage play on Titan X. I'm a big believer in Titan X and what's going on. I couldn't always say that's the case, but the recent price action has made me realize it's here to stay. And so for me, having a leverage bet on Titan X is a winning play, and I'm rocking with Inferno.
Love it, man. And just to build off of what you said, the strategy is pretty clear cut. And the big thing that Bill really highlighted to you guys is he looks for the number one meme coin. He looks for the best altcoin in every ecosystem. They're always going to run. And if you find the best play, it's going to be your leverage bet in that ecosystem. So, for example, we like Brett and Miggles. If Coinbase does well, Brett and Miggles is going to inadvertently do well. Now, some things I also, and one last thing I want to say, when you guys look at Titan X, it's inflationary, but the goal is to make it deflationary one day. And also with the Inferno token, the token supply is going to be capped. So in theory, Titan X is slowly starting to become deflationary, and then you have a capped token. So when you have a massive amount of buy and burn on a capped token with a bunch of token supply that's designed to go up, it doesn't move linearly, it moves exponentially. That's the key to understanding this meme coin approach and why it's such a unique shooting star moment in the crypto space.
Yeah, and
So
I think it's important for people to understand that the minting phase will be done. It's not inflationary after a certain point, right?
right.
Yeah.
Correct.
So to me, it's like this is geared to only go up. And if you look at the chart, it's showing that so far it's falling path. So I'm stoked, man. And honestly, if this thing moves well, I owe it all to you. And actually to you. Obviously, you got the homies in it and Goose in it, but like you're the one who put it on my radar. I literally would have zero idea what's going on. And I think Titan X is one of those ecosystems that, unless if you're in it, it really hasn't made too much noise outside yet. But we know how everything works. Green candles is the best form of marketing. People are going to start taking notice if they're not a part of the ecosystem right now.
Yes, sir. I agree 100%. And the one thing I just want to point out with the chart, when it comes to doing TA, and I was like studying this chart right now, you're just seeing it follow this beautiful trend line going up and down. This has a lot to do with the mint phases. And then once we get to about, I believe it's going to be September 15th right here. This is where the supply is going to be capped right here. And then that's when the mint phase is done, and that's when it's going to do its thing. So right now it's just following this beautiful trend line coming up, and then we hit right here, and then that's when we're going to start to see a go time. So overall, good stuff, man. Bill, any thoughts on this?
My bags are packed. That's really all there is to it. My bags are packed. I'm like I said, I'm not huge into Titan X like you guys are, but my bags, I chose Inferno. And I know there's other great projects, but for anyone watching, just check it out. Whether or not you buy it or not, I honestly, none of us care. But the whole point of this show is to just show everyone opportunities that we feel are helpful in all of crypto. Again, crypto is not just one ecosystem. It's not just base. It's not just ETH. Our goal at the next layer is to just let you guys know what we're watching across all chains. That's how you become smart. That's how you become more educated. And whatever you end up doing is up to you, but at least you heard about it first from the next layer.
Absolutely. And last thing before we cap off on the Titan X stuff, and we'll just keep it moving. I want to give a big shout out to Utah Crypto, one of the devs behind the Blaze team, who created Inferno. Shout out to you. He's also in the Telegram. He's the Telegram moderator. Serranos, good to see you, my man. Always good to
Let's
see you.
go. Serranos are dude, this guy, he's a Chad, and I love talking about, all the, the astrological stuff, the hidden knowledge of the world, the esoteric. We should do a live stream on one day on that stuff in Serranos. You got to come to it.
Oh, dude, that would actually be a pretty gnarly live stream. We can definitely go deep in that
Bro,
one. And
if you're ever in LA, so now I have access to like a legit podcast studio, state of the art. I posted a video on it. I would love to like, how dope would it be if we just did something in person? We could talk crypto and stuff, but what if one episode is just about like the cabal and just about like, what's going on, the esoteric, and like, I think it would be so fun.
yeah, I think it'd be cool, especially if we put on X, will be good because YouTube's sketchy, but
Yeah,
X
yeah, yeah,
we can
yeah.
definitely get away with it. So yeah, no,
Yeah,
let's do it, dude. I love
dude,
that.
for sure. And shout out to Utah Crypto, Bill the Bull. Appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Bad Sports, another dev in the team. Good to see you. Margaritas. I'm not going to even try to pronounce that, but shout out to you. Thank you for being in the live stream. Hex Clip, big fan. Always good to see you. Chris and Gil, always bullish on Inferno. Utah, Build the Bull, and Crypto Nobody, LFG. Good stuff. Good stuff. So, yeah, just want to cap off with TineX. I think we summed up very well. Keep your eye on the ecosystem because projects like Inferno aren't going to be the last. We're going to see a lot more projects, and we're also going to see a lot of other meme coins. So good stuff. So Bill,
Yeah,
talk to me, man. You've been following narratives.
I
Word
did.
on the street is you got a juicy piece of alpha of a new narrative that you want to bring it to the next layer live stream.
Juicy. It's juicy, and again, this one, I can't take credit for finding it or any of that stuff, but I do have to give. Let me just make sure I get the right before I share it. This to me is potentially something that could be really big, and I'll tell you why in 1 second. Yeah, so I want to give a shout out to Flip Drago. He's a older KOL, but he was actually, really well respected. Shout out to you, man. I would love to eventually get you on the pod, but basically he brought to my attention there's a coin, and let me share my stream. Actually, let me get this.
Yeah.
All right, so sorry guys, I'm like, share the screen. Let's go. I'm actually one of the few that only use Dex tools, but anyways, you can see it, right? This is what I'm looking at. And what I'm seeing is a coin called WAAC. I think it's called Wrapped II. And I actually do think this is probably the first live stream that is talked about this, honestly, because no one's talking about it. So before I get into the narrative, Chris, let me ask you this. If you see a chart like this, bullish or bearish?
Oh, bullish, 100%. Bullish across the board.
And if you notice this whole rounded pattern with this yellow box is a resistance, and you kind of look, it's been in place since June of this year. So you have since June, and it's September now, you see this consolidation under this yellow box. So without me telling you this narrative, I also agree it's bullish. And what happens is once it breaks this former yellow box's support, because it's touched here in June, and then recently September it touched again, it's going to retouch. The moment it retouches and confirms that as support, traders are going to come in without even knowing what this is. They're going to come in, and you're going to see just a massive move, right? You're going to see a massive move. Just if you wanted to just do a little, 11x just from the rounded bottom to the support. So that's cool, right? That's cool. 6.50 mil, 6.5 mil, so pretty small. Now let me tell you why I'm bullish on this one. And I'm bullish on it because not just the chart, I'm bullish on it because of what it stands for. So let me go to Flip's profile, and let me share that with you guys.
Yep.
Let's stop that one. Let me share what it is. And he brings some alpha. And I honestly think this is probably one of the best opportunities you'll find. So, okay. Flip Drago, again, for those that don't know, 29.4 thousand followers. He's not just some, bum. I don't say this lightly regarding WAAC. Haven't felt this early to anything since minting Pudgy Penguins. Pudgy Penguins, by the way, are just killing it. Quick summary below, if interested. TLDR, first meme coin on ETH, circa August 2015, distributed via Faucet in May of 2024. This is the contract. So I'm curious, right? I see this post, I follow him. I'm like, first meme coin on ETH in 2015. Let me see what this is. So this guy, Space Llama, I guess he's the big holder. He just makes excellent points. Basically saying August 2015, when the Ethereum was 3 weeks old, there was only a few hundred contracts deployed, and one of the tokens was a 6 million supply token called II coin, and you can only claim it by a faucet. So tells you about every token you did from the faucet. That was the only way you can get it. And in June of this year, it was undiscovered until this man found it, and he posted on it, and the faucet was drained. So this faucet that was created in 2015 was finally drained because no one knew about it. And then this guy verified that out of the contracts that were done before this token, because there was only like 30 or so, none of them had name tokens or there were anything on Ethereum with a faucet. So that's why he's saying this is the oldest meme coin token and the oldest animal token on the blockchain, on Ethereum. So this to me is called II coin. If this is true, I think this explodes. And I think this explodes really well because you have two narratives here. You have the narrative of being the first meme coin ever, literally ever, and you have the first meme coin. You have the historical, um, what's the word? Historical narrative. And if you
Right.
guys weren't around in 2021, historical NFTs, historical anything had its own meta. And there were things like crypto punks that just went up through the roof because it was the first like NFT ever created. So if there's a historical run again, I think the first meme coin ever created on ETH is going to have a ton of value. And I think no one's talking about it. And it's a cap supply, 5 million in existence. And the biggest whale is like, done locked liquidity and stuff. So at a 6.2 million market cap, I think this can be the next big thing. I have a position. I think it's one of the best asymmetrical bets. Chris, I know I explained everything. Welcome to my TED Talk. What are your thoughts on historical NFTs and what I've had to say?
I love it, man. First thoughts is these are the types of things that we're gonna look 10 years down the road and we're gonna be like, wow, it's like the Mona Lisa, it's like a painting, it's like something Da Vinci did way back in the day. So I love this narrative. I think it's great. Now, the question I have to you is with this II coin, this first meme coin narrative, is there any other coins that you came across that fit this bill?
Of the first like historical kind of things?
Like, yeah, like a historical came from a faucet meme coin type of deal. None.
No, I mean, I know I've been like I said, I just came up this would be my first one came from a faucet, but if you think about it, like from a normie's perspective, a faucet, you have that's why I like this coin. And I don't know any other ones, but so far hasn't been debunked. But you have a faucet, so it's fair distribution. Oldest meme coin in existence, and there's only been 30, so people have fact checked the other 30. What was it? So those two things alone, if I'm a normie, that narrative is strong because other people are going to start thinking, wow, how much value does a historical NFT have? And you saw CryptoPunks went from, I think they were minting around $300 in 2020, and then 2021 it hit like 300, 400,000. And I think there was one guy on crypto Twitter back then, Leonidas. That whole historical meta just exploded. I think Ether punks or Ether something. I don't know anyone else of those, but I know that this is probably the only meme coin, and I think there's value in it. And like I said, you don't need to put much for these type of projects. It's very asymmetrical. So if this really takes off, it's not going to be 6 million market cap. This could easily go to 600, 500 million in a blink of an eye, honestly.
Right. Actually, I got something interesting for you because this actually will add some context to this. So, yes, this is a great narrative, and once it's proven, well, it's probably already been proven true, but once people start to realize that this is one of the first meme coins, it reminds me a lot of a coin called Wrapped Miss Coin. And for those guys who don't
That's the
know,
one. Yeah, people have been talking about Mist, right? That's the name of Mist. So it was isn't it like a German developer or something? So like there's like now that this is starting to come up, WAAC, so people are like, what about Mist? And they're showing that Mist came second.
right? Okay. So just to tell you guys and translate what Bill's talking about, when this starts coming out, what happened with Rat Miss was I think this was right around let me move this out of the way. Beginning of March, right at the beginning of March when the news came out, the thing skyrocketed and did a 30x. So this can be like a good way to really gauge on how this token could perform well because we're just comparing things. And so in my opinion, if it did a 30x and it's sitting at about $1.4 million market cap, then yeah, it could easily go to 30, 60 million, maybe flirt with 100 million, then test that level and retrace, come back. So yeah, man, I think honestly, this is probably going to be one of the bullish narratives now that it's been proven that Rat Mist came second and this one
Yeah.
came first. That's huge, dude. That's really big.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, obviously you have the Mist community like kind of salty in a way, and but then they're like proven facts from the other side, like, no, this is, and now I think there's people saying, all right, screw it, like we're part of the historical narrative, right? So Mist is kind of working like, all right, let's not say who's first or second, or like it's fine we're second. So for me, the thing that I do like more about not Mist, this new one, WAC, it has an enterprise discovery, bro. You saw that chart. That chart
Oh yeah.
hasn't. The chart is just a big rounded. And again, once again, let me just share one more time for people, and we can move on. But like, I mean, you don't even have to know what this thing does. Just look. Once it hits us, there's nothing. Literally clear skies. Nothing. Those are the projects that you want to get in. If you get in now, unless if like it rugs, like I don't see how this fails. And everything is in speculation. So for me, you look at it, the yellow box is $1.60, $1.55. Okay, it'll probably test that a few times. Once it breaks, it's going to retest. On the retest, this thing just flies. The next area of resistance is 210, barely. So you might see a little resistance and then nothing. And 1.7 million in liquidity with a 6.5 million market cap. That's solid. That's solid. That's like whale's paradise, man. Like, so yeah, I radar last night. And literally the first thing I did was share it to your basically you and Goo's group, and the other ones with the other group that we're in, and just letting you know it's on my radar, and now we're talking about it.
Yeah, man. And let me ask you this question. So this market dilution's a problem, especially with the pump fund stuff, meme coins left and right. If this takes off, and this is a crazy hypothetical, do you think we see a resurgence of the historic meme coins start taking over since so
Absolutely.
much is going on right now?
Absolutely, man. Because everything moves in narratives, right? The leaders basically create the narratives, and others follow. So if you're in a historical meme, might not be the first, but you're part of that nostalgic historical sector, you're going to want to root for something like WAAC to move. You really do, because yours are going to move. That's just how crypto does. Right now, people are going to rotate to the sector. Sometimes it's AI. When Fetch moves, it's the leader. The lower cap AI coins will do their thing. 2021, it was the metaverse in gaming. They ran the markets. There's no difference with historical anything. So if the historical coins run, historical NFTs will run as well. They're all just tied together. But like I said, the time to enter positions is when no one's talking about it. Do not come in when it's pumped 50, like 300%, because then you're going to be chasing ups and downs. But just understand, narratives run the market. It's all speculation. Just be in the narrative before it runs.
I agree 100%, man. And the other gold mine behind this, and this comes into research. I guarantee you there are going to be other meme coins with a similar story, maybe launched a little bit later. Those are the golden nuggets in this narrative because I guarantee you there's got to be something else. And so if you got like 10 or 15 minutes on the side and you're like, all right, let me do some research, look into this right now because if you're the first one to find one of these tokens, oh my god, man. Whew, it's gonna be looking pretty good.
Yeah, and the thing is, though, what I always do, and this is just my strategy, whenever I find something is interesting, the first thing I do is see who's talking about it on X. You can have the best thing in the world, but if literally no one's talking about it, it's two things. You're either really early, have a bag, or just kind of be a little cautious, because you need people to talk about it. And so for me, again, like I said, they're not paying me nothing. Like, this is just me as a normal person who found something. I'm extremely bullish on this WAC. The market cap's great, plenty of potential to go. It's about to go parabolic, price discovery, and there's already big people talking about it. And Flip Drago is huge in the Miggles community, well respected in the ETH community. And this guy who's doing the research is talking about it like, and he's a benevolent whale because he locked up like most of that liquidity is from him and it's been locked. So I don't know, man. I think this is gonna be one of my big winners. I really do. And see how it says Miscoin right there
Yeah.
after A. I.
Wow. Yeah, okay. I do, yeah. Now I 100% believe it. Plus it was found on the 20th. That makes sense. It's starting to line up. So I like this, dude. This is crazy, but awesome.
That's alpha
Cool.
right there for you that you guys can only find on the next layer because we don't, like I said, this show is all about everything that's going on. That's why I love this show. But Chris, let me ask you now, let me turn the tables on you. So let's talk about another chain that I think is starting to do really well or showing signs of life. I shouldn't say really well. It's got a long way to go. Talk to me about the Pulse chain ecosystem. I wake up and I see a lot of green these days. What's going on there? What are your thoughts?
There's a lot going on with Pulse Chain right now. And I think the hottest take is PDI and green aliens. So number one, if you guys have been keeping up with what's going on with PDI, basically there's a research team, there's 900 Capital, Decentralized Me, and then me and Bill were in the little Telegram group where they sit there and they just put information, they just talk things out. Well, one thing that the research team was able to prove is that the PDI on Pulse Chain was actually minted by a wallet connected to Richard Hart. And then also number two, it talked about how these wallets connected to the wallet that minted PDI is connected to owning Aave and the Maker DAO token. And so when Pulse Chain first launched, these wallets were the reason why PDI and the PMaker vaults were set up, and it was connected right back to the deployer wallet address, which is directly connected to Richard Hart. So the main point I'm trying to say is all this stuff about what's going on with PDI, when it first started off saying like not financial advice, blah, 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 we're not sure if this is true or not true. Now it's almost concrete fact that Richard Hart has his hand in PDI, and that's something going on. Bill, what's your thoughts on that situation before we talk about the aliens?
Yeah, I mean, PETA, to me, the way I look at PETA is it has to succeed, and there's a lot that's been put out there, hasn't been debunked, and now researchers have shown that he's you know in control of it. It makes sense for it to do well. It makes sense for it to have the narrative of it pegging, and like I said, it as a speculator, having some position in it is critically important because if I were to not um have a position, I would, and it somehow pegged, I'd be like, just like, I wouldn't be able to live with myself. And the thing with these type of coins is once it gets running and it gets to a certain point, people are really going to think it's going to peg. Whether or not it holds peg, I don't know, but it's going to. I think it's one of the most bullish assets on Pulse, and I have my bag ready. I've been having it for a while, and I think it flows with the Tropa. If you're into PETA, you like the Tropa, and there's just a lot of others. So yeah, man. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of smart people say it's Richard Hart's backed. I'm in it. I don't know if it'll peg to $1, but I think that narrative is there, and once it runs, you'll see a lot of FOMO.
Right. And here's the interesting part about this. So I'm gonna try to blow your mind, man. So
Love it.
here's the interesting part about what's going on with PDI and Maker. So Maker DAO is actually going to be rebranding to a new platform called Sky. And so they're going to be implementing this like I guess the stablecoin is going to be calling Sky, and then the government's going to be something else. But I'll give you the TLDR on all this. Basically, they're creating an incentivizations program for you to convert your Maker and DAI into this new protocol. Now, this new protocol has admin keys. It can stop you and freeze your wallet. So if any malicious stuff happens, the DAI will just sit in your wallet and you can't do anything about it. So what Maker DAO started off as is like this free speech stablecoin that cannot be controlled, and its new upgraded platform turns into this centralized. I guess I don't want to say that because it'll mess up on YouTube, but it's like a centralized coin that bankers and the government can't control. Bill, do you think the stuff with PDI, P Maker was being introduced because Richard Hart saw what's happening with Maker down the road?
Could be. I mean, it's it makes sense because he understands what's going on. Maybe that's why he was targeted by the SEC. Maybe, more than others. I think people don't realize that if you are in a coin and you can be and it can be halted, from preventing you from spending or sending it, like you're screwed. Having a permissionless coin that's away from government securities or hands, truly decentralized stable coin is needed. And so if that's the case and he had the foresight and I don't know if I think he probably did, then something like PDI will be the safe haven, and what can I do have worries about like the bridge and all that stuff because if you block the access, let's say PDI you can't control, but you can block the bridge. I think that creates some problems. But everyone should just be understanding wherever you are in the political spectrum, just understand that censorship is there and you need to be worried about that. And whatever you can do to prevent censorship, you should encourage it because uh, without the ability to freely transact and having others decide what you can and cannot do, that's a world I don't want to live in. So if he's decided that this is the path that it's going and he had the foresight, kudos to him. I don't 100% know, but I definitely have my PDI bags and I'm not letting go of them anytime soon.
I agree, man. Hey, phenomenal analysis and some stuff you talk about, censorship and stuff going to the future. So, just a quick breakdown and give you guys some context. USDC is owned by Circle. Circle is actually funded heavily by BlackRock. BlackRock is using the Biddle fund to increase its position not only in USDC, USDT. USDT is also backed by BRICS, and then there's also a couple other stablecoin protocols that BlackRock is getting involved through its Biddle fund and also backed by the Ondo Finance. So I know that was a whole mumble jumble bunch of words, but the main point I'm trying to get across is with this market, it's all about the stable coin. It's not about the meme coins. It's not about the L1s. It's not about the L2s. The concentration of attention by a lot of these guys, BlackRock specifically, is the stable coins. And so, in my opinion, with PDI, that is its biggest selling point for Pulse Chain. If that story comes out and PDI starts doing its thing, Pulse Chain basically won. I'll give you the trophy at that point. That's how I'm thinking. And it's just really interesting. So yeah, man. Anything else on that before we talk about the aliens?
No, I mean, like I said, I think, I was on a political space yesterday actually, and it was from
Interesting.
a shout out to the MAGA Trump team for having me on. And I don't care, like I said, I don't care what your political preference is, right, left, maybe you don't even care about. I just think it's important though to talk about what's going on in this world. And like I said, all these things matter. These are things you need to think of. So, yeah, I have it, I'm ready, and whatever the case may be, it's just there's a lot of fear out there, of the control that others can just literally at any time, just affect your life. So whatever I can do to hedge against that, I'm going to take advantage of it. And so hopefully PDI is the answer.
Yes, sir. Couldn't agree more. Love it. All right, guys. So let's talk about the aliens. There's an alien meta in Pulse Chain. So we have PTGC, we got UFO, we got alien, we got Inky. We got this huge narrative. And not only is Pulse Chain fascinated with crazy inside theories about coins pegging, they're also fascinated with aliens, and I absolutely love it. So, what's going on right now is PTGC. It's one of the top altcoins on Pulse Chain at the time of this recording. It's absolutely skyrocketing and mooning because a really big name Pulse Chain influencer, K4K Crypto, came out and started talking about PTGC. So, a lot of people are getting in and jumping into this project. Now, Bill, here's the most interesting part about PTGC that blows your mind. So you look at this chart, you're like, okay, we're about to get close to all-time high. Most of you guys know Pulse Chain's not doing well. But if we measure it versus Rat Pulse, it's literally doing a hockey stick right now versus Pulse. So at one point, we were trading at a ratio 1-to-1, meaning that $1 worth of PTGC equals about $1 Pulse Chain. and now it's actually exceeding and exploding past that threshold, and it's going up to a 2.28 ratio. I love how it has 2.8 in there. It's pretty crazy. Matrix
The
confirmed.
Matrix confirming.
Yeah. So ultimately, the main point I'm trying to get across is we're seeing alien meta booming on Pulse Chain. And so before I run through some other coins and just tell you guys about it, Bill, what's your thoughts on what's going on with PTGC and what does this mean for Pulse Chain?
Well, I mean, so if you're not, it's just really cool to watch. And honestly, I'm not even in the alien metas. I've kind of like just, like I said, I pick and choose what I'm in every chain. You can't be in them all. And that's, I think, another very important piece of advice for anyone listening. Don't feel like you have to be in everything, right? Because you will literally kick yourself and you'll spread yourself too thin. So I'm personally not in any of these alien coins, but I'm very bullish on what you're saying. It's shown, the chart is shown that the market's liking this. And if you were to buy in at, the lower ends, you've made a whole lot more PLS because of the whole ratio. Whether or not right now is the time to buy, I don't know about that. You need to kind of like, like I said, the time is to buy when not many people are talking. But it is interesting to see all the alien meta coins doing well, and it just seems like that's the culture that's been created. I do feel because of PTGC's success, and there's some like I actually do think people should look at another one that I think people should look at is well, actually, let me ask you this though. Actually, I'm curious to know your thoughts, Chris. Why do you think the Pulse Chain ecosystem, the community, has chosen the alien meta as the one to drive more so than like Teddy Bear? I'm very curious to know your thoughts on that.
So I do. Well, first off, I do agree with you. Now it's not the time to get in PTGC. I'll make that clear. When you see it like curve up and go exponential, you always want to wait for a retracement or a dip, followed by a doji, then take a position. Not financial.
Yeah.
Well, just a piece of advice. Now, the reason why people are fascinated with the alien meta was it started off with PTGC. And if you guys are familiar with PDI, there's a token called Atropa, which basically you take PDI and Atropa and it's bonded together and that liquidity is burnt. And because it's burnt liquidity, it basically creates this ever expanding price floor. Now, if you go down the Atropa ecosystem, there's like 200 tokens under it. And we're not going to go into that because that's like a 5-hour conversation. But the main point about PTGC is it built a liquidity web on top of the Atropa ecosystem, and it's actually leveraging it going on to the future. And what's really interesting is there's a series of taxes that make it deflationary, send some funds to a DAO, and you can also receive a staking payout if you so choose to stake this token. And as most guys know, if you hear hexakin, probably the first thing that comes to your mind is either staking, 555, or Richard Hart. And so because there's a staking mechanic, I think people are clicking hard to this meta. Now, going through this meta, I just want to just talk about just show you guys a few coins. I'm saying we're not in every single coin, but there's other leverage plays that you can play on top of this because PTGC right now is sitting at about $23 million market cap. And there could be a potential spot for number 2, which could capture about 10% of the market, 2 million, something similar to what Crash talks about ratios. So another cool project that I've been eyeing is actually Alien. I'm going to bring up the chart real quick. So Alien, believe it or not, if you guys have been following PTGC after its first run up, Alien was actually used as a massive leverage play against PTGC in a ratio trade. And this is another token built on top of PTGC in the liquidity web. And it's actually designed to help out the ecosystem by burning PTGC and a couple of other tokens to have thick LPs between it. So in my opinion, I really like Alien. I think it's going to be very beneficial. And I think after you see this PTGC run, you're going to see a lot of whales eye for a potential ratio trade or the next bet. Bill, any thoughts on Alien?
Yeah, I mean, I see this chart. Again, I'm not in it, but just looking at it from a chart point of view, it's a beautiful chart. The yellow line represents the key support. If you ever see candles closing below that, literally run because it's not going to be good. But it doesn't seem that at all it's going to happen. So if you're not in, we could chart that, but it's a beautiful chart. It's curling up. I do expect a pretty big move happening, but if not, it's a small dip. It's going to be fine. But I think I think these are great coins to be in. I think, Viber Finance is saying something about Enki too. I'm pretty bullish on Enki as well. Super lower cap. It's only about a 200K market cap. And I think a lot of Chads are in it. I think it's being slept on. So I do think Enki is something that people should, for me, I like charts like this way more. And again, I like price discovery.
Mhm.
It's going to happen once Enki, reaches its all-time high. Then you have nothing but clear skies. Other charts, you have to still kind of battle the previous supports and all those things. So Enki to me seems like a really good play if you're trying to follow that alien type meta. So I always try to look, and again, these coins are only going to be as good as the leaders, right? And so, however your risk tolerance is, having a bag in one of these type of positions makes sense to me. I do want to also, when we're done with this, I want to kind of show everyone the teddy bear chart as well, because I see some interesting things
Okay.
as well. So like I think a lot of Impulsion and teddy bear to me is very much encompassing some of the major coins such as PDI and Atropa, because they have very similar chart structure. So if you see with Enki, a retap of that support, I think it's what, the 888 level, you're just going to moon.
Wait, hold on. Do you want me to pull up the bear chart real quick? I'm sorry.
Yeah, how about I'll pull it up on my end because I actually have it.
Okay, I got you here. I'll go back to this chart. I wanted to trace out the 0.88 support
Yeah.
because
So like with that one, this one looks good. Maybe there's going to be a retouch. The 888 now should be support. So if you see a retest, that's when you want to get in, and then you'll probably, jump past a bunch of these fibs. And there's not really much resistance. So as long as the team stays committed, doesn't move, doesn't run, doesn't rug, I like the odds of this. And it's a lower cap, so a lot of people like to take chances on these lower ones. So yeah, super bullish. I assume you're bullish as on Enki as well.
oh man, I love it. When you got something with 220K in market cap, these are the plays where if it gets adoption, you a 100x, no, so a 10x would put this at about 2 million. A 100x
Nothing.
would put it, was it like 20 million? So
Those are
and
really nothing numbers. Like honestly, very much nothing at all. And like I said, the biggest thing with these coins is you just have to make sure that like the team is committed and they're not going to just rug. And everything that's shown me is the team is committed on this one. I don't like the fact that the Twitter has been suspended. If anyone's a part of this project, I hope that they get that fixed because that would scare off some people. But from everything I've seen, it's a legit project.
yeah, I think yeah, so this plugs into the socials right here. Yeah, I think the big thing they need to do is just update this on Dex screener so that the Twitter pops up. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think
So
yeah, it's just my mistake. So
yeah, super minor. But yeah, I'm very bullish on that and actually the alien ecosystem. So if you're not a part of the alien ecosystem on Pulse I just want to kind of show everyone a teddy bear chart. And like I said, teddy bear, I'm in, but I think it's important for me to show this because it's showing a lot of the other charts that are looking like this on Pulse such as PDI, such as Atropa. So if you notice this chart on teddy bear, what you see here is the way I'm counting this. I don't know about you, Chris, but the way I counted this, this is just first wave up, and then it went down to number two, and now it worked on its third wave micro. It's now on its macro third wave of three.
mhm.
So this is what I'm counting. So each wave. So this was wave one, macro wave one. This is macro wave two. Now within each wave, there's five subwaves. So the way I'm counting this one is this is start of the third wave. This is wave one and this is wave two of the macro third. What comes next eventually is the most important, the big three wave. And then you have four, and then you have five. This is not drawn to scale. I think a huge move is coming, like a huge move. And this could be the biggest move of the cycle. I think you're going to see something like this.
Right.
And this is going to close out the run. So I think, and this is for all pulse chain projects like PDI and Atropa and Teddy Bear, even WBTC. This is what I predict. Massive. So how high it goes, I don't know, but that's what I'm seeing. And so for anyone on the fence on pulse chain, again, I think the time is to get in now when very few people are talking, but this is kind of what I'm seeing. Do you kind of see something similar?
Yeah, I do. I do. I think with what's going on with the meme coins, Bear is going to be the dominant meme coin on Pulse Chain, especially how it ties into PDI and Atropa. And when we start to get into that wave three, it's going to shock a lot of people. And once we start to see that coin absolutely explode on CoinGecko and Coin Terminal and all the other sites, the first thing that's going to rush into Pulse Chain are going to be the degens, and they're going to be going for that. They're not going to be going for Pulse. So
Yeah.
overall, man, I have the same analysis as you.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see, and I think once it gets running, and I guess why don't we close it out? Do you want to share kind of like your Bitcoin dominance chart? I think that was a really handy chart, kind of
Yeah,
to show what you're seeing and why you think alt season's coming. I titled this live stream, we are so close to alt season, and a lot of that has to do with what you have shown.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. So as most you guys know, my one goal of this bull market is to make the best trades and to be the best at technical analysis, and that's the only thing I'm focused on. So I've been eating up technical analysis, and one day I'm gonna be at Bill's level, but for right now, I'm not at that level right now. So, but here's the thing that I'm seeing with Bitcoin dominance. The one thing that we are looking for Bitcoin dominance for those guys who don't know, we're looking for a massive move to the downside. And you guys see this massive like red candle set right here. This was from the last market. Bitcoin slowly started going up, up from the previous bear market lows, came up, and then boom, had a breakdown. Now, if you guys look at this period of time, technical analysis, there's a lot of ways to do it, but one of the most common ways is to look at patterns in the past and see how they perform and then try to use that based on your current time frame. Actually, no, that didn't make any sense. The point of technical analysis is you're looking for pattern recognition and what you see on the chart so that you can predict what's going to be the next move on the chart. That was a better way of saying it. And so when I went through and looked at the Bitcoin dominance chart, one thing that I noticed was when you turn on the 300 weekly moving average from the last market cycle, we basically saw this. And this, oh, let me get out of all this. We saw this beautiful bright green line right here. So Bitcoin dominance came up here, and then we got to the 300 weekly simple moving average, started trading sideways, came up, and then touched it right around on the week of December 28th. Right when that came in, it touched and then boom, broke down. See you later. Now, based off of this, I went through and I looked at some simple moving averages and I said, okay, we had the 300 weekly simple moving average. Which simple moving average is going to fall in line that we can use as an indicator of a potential breakdown? And after doing a little bit of research, I found something interesting on the 100-month simple moving average. And what I start to find out is as this continues to rise, this line starts to curve down. And so, in my opinion, the 100 monthly simple moving average is a higher time frame for data compared to all the other simple moving averages. And my theory is because it is such a higher time frame, the data is much more accurate and it's going to be a better indicator of a potential breakdown. That's my thesis right now based off of that previous scenario I showed you guys at the beginning of my explanation. So what I'm thinking is probably going to happen, if we go back to the last simple moving average, we usually see a candle and we touch it and then we blow past it a little bit. It's usually like 1.5%. And then we see a massive breakdown. So, in my opinion, September is going to be a very important month. Well, the end of this month and the beginning of October is going to be extremely important. And the reason why I'm saying that is because we are about, let's see, 1.14% away from this sucker touching.
Wow.
So that could happen this month or it could happen next month. And a lot of people agree that the altcoin season is going to happen fairly soon. So based off of what I'm seeing with this line and based off of a couple other statistics and other chart metrics that I'm looking at, I think this is going to be correct right when we touch it. Bill the Bull, what's your thoughts on this?
I think this is such a good chart. So this everyone watching, this is the monthly chart. You said this is the 100 week moving average?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So zoom out a bit so we can see if everyone notices that red line has never been touched since, right? And moving averages on a longer time frame has been extremely important, and they act as big resistance. There's always going to be resistance. I think Chris is 100% right on. If you also notice, what's been forming for the last, what is it, year or two, is a rising wedge. A rising wedge in technical analysis is extremely bearish. It's going to fall down. If you had a falling wedge, that's bullish. This is not a falling wedge. This is a rising wedge. Not only is it a rising wedge, it's about to hit the key EMA on the monthly. This is going to be the fuel for you to get your alt season. I absolutely think this is going to correct. And it's interesting to me that this is occurring right around the time of the October solar eclipse. This is a solar season, solar cycle. We had a solar eclipse, I believe, last year as well. And I think, well, we had the one in March, I think. But in a solar season, this is the bullish energy. Next year is the lunar eclipses, which is bearish energy, which is why I believe something's going to happen in the March timeframe, which I think will be the market cycle top, or there'll be a correction that would maybe have a relief rally, but like that will come up to another day. So long story short, I think with the rising wedge and it's about to hit this EMA, I do feel it's going to break down. And when it breaks down, you're going to see a pretty big move and you're going to see a huge move on your altcoins. So that's why it's important that you position yourself into whatever it is you like and just literally sit back. Maybe just throw away your computer for a month and just sit
Right.
back. Don't
Yeah,
overtrade. Don't try to feel that you need to get into every little project. You just can't. Don't let your friends convince you otherwise. Just have conviction in something and just sit back.
I love it, man. And just to be clear, I don't know if I was using my terminology correctly. This is EMA, which is exponential moving average, and I was saying simple moving average. So those two are different, correct?
Yeah, they are.
Okay. Okay. So sorry, my apologies. I didn't mean to say 100 simple moving average. I meant to say exponential moving average for any of you guys who are trying to learn TA. So just make that clear. So
Perfect. Cool,
awesome.
man.
So yeah, guys. So that's it. That's all we got for today. Bill, you got anything else for us?
No, except I love these streams, man. I appreciate you, Chris. I think hopefully those that are listening in the audience, you guys enjoy what we have. I think we're both passionate. I love being able to teach, and hopefully, you picked up a thing or two. If you have any other questions, bro, just hit me up on my DM. Come to our I have my own Telegram community with one of my other co-hosts, Rachel Rose. It's called Let's Touch Base. If you ever need to get in touch with me, come to our DM or come to our Telegram. Happy to talk anytime. And please watch our show with Chris and myself every Wednesday, noon PST, 3 Eastern.
Yes, sir. Absolutely love it. And guys, please follow Bill at Late Night on Base. Please follow the Verse Crypto account, and please tweet this live stream out so that more and more people can learn about what we're doing and the positivity we're trying to spread across the space. Till then, guys, we'll see you guys next one. Peace out, y'all.